Hi, this is Jenn Snyder Gibson, and we are coming to you from the Brand Builders Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina with the Breakfast Club Beat. Welcome. We are here with Dr. Emily Wheeler, who is the Executive Director of Dress for Success Charlotte.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
I am doing great. It is so nice to sit down with you today. Thank you for taking time to be with us.
Of course. I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk with you today.
So, we love to get a chance to talk to our members and especially be able to highlight our nonprofit partners and all the amazing work that you are doing in our Charlotte community. So I would love, with this being Women's History Month, to just share with us a little bit about what you guys are doing right now this month and what brought you into Dress for Success.
Sure. As you said, it's Women's History Month, and Dress for Success Charlotte, we empower women to achieve economic independence through a full spectrum of workforce development programs, but we're best known for our professional clothing program. And so this is our favorite month of the year. It's a year for us to really lean in and support our community and the women that we serve, but also to get to celebrate women who are leaders around Charlotte through a campaign that I think we can talk about in a few minutes. But I've been with Dress for Success Charlotte for just over a year. I started in January 2024. And my background previously was primarily in public higher education. So I was doing student and family transition and success programs and supporting students who were starting college to try and make sure that they were able to finish that college degree. But while I worked at UNC Charlotte for about 10 years. And while I was there, I decided to pursue my doctorate, which is a lot of work, especially when I had a toddler at home at the time.
I can only imagine.
It was chaos and the pandemic, but that's a whole different podcast episode.
Yes, that's another podcast.
But I did my research on women's navigation of gender-based power dynamics as they advance in their careers. So I've always had that passion for and interest in advancing, uplifting, talking about women's needs when we're talking about professionalism and career journeys. And so when I had been at UNC Charlotte for about 10 years, I transitioned into nonprofit work a few years ago and was with another organization doing workforce development programming. But when I saw this role at Dress for Success Charlotte, it felt like all of the pieces of me on paper, my professional background and interests, the research that I had done, a passion and a fire that lives inside of me. And I literally took my phone to my husband and I was like, this is my job. And the rest is history. And I know that I'm really fortunate to have been able to feel that in a job description and then have the opportunity to step into this role.
One of the things I love about doing this is I learn so much about our members that maybe I hadn't had a chance to hear before. I really love hearing a little bit about your journey in getting your doctorate and what it was that drove you to this opportunity. I've had the privilege to be involved with Dress for Success over the years, and it's such an impactful organization. And to see firsthand what you guys are able to do to lift up so many women in our community is just absolutely fantastic. Why don't you share with us a little bit about Your Hour, Her Power?
Sure. So as I mentioned, for Women's History Month, we celebrate women who are known for uplifting other women in our community. So women who have a reputation for, supporting, cheering on, bringing other women with them as they've navigated their corporate, civic, and community involvement. And so Your Hour, Her Power is an opportunity and a partnership with us and Adams Outdoor Advertising, where we feature one woman a day across digital billboards around Charlotte. And that woman serves as our chief fundraising officer and chief storytelling officer for her day. So she's helping us build our network, share the impact of our organization, but also has pledged to give 1 hour of her pay in support of women's economic advancement. And so each of those women, hopefully folks are driving around the city and seeing those billboards as we speak, but each of those women is really a champion, not just for our organization, but for the women that we serve. And then she invites others in her network to give an hour of their pay as well to advance women's economic opportunities here in our city. It's our 5th hour of this campaign. It has raised it's raised over $750,000 over the first 4 years. And so we are hoping that this year we will cross that $1 million total across all 5 years of the campaign. Again, all invested in women's opportunities here in our city.
Wow, over $1 million. That would be amazing. I had the honor to be involved in year one.
Yes.
And it was such a privilege. And it was really amazing to see all the women come together that year and each year following that have been a part of it. It's truly special. What do you see around the horizon for Dress for Success? I know there's some fun things that are coming very soon.
Sure. We have a lot of milestones this year. So I mentioned that it's the 5th anniversary of Your Hour, Her Power. It's also our 25th anniversary as an organization. And so we've been serving women in the Charlotte community for the past 25 years. We've served more than 13,000 women here in our community in that time. And so we're really proud of the work that we have been doing and the foundation that we have. And in 2025, as we celebrate our 25th anniversary, we are also purchasing a forever home. And so it's a really great opportunity for us to invest in the community that we serve and to make sure that we have the stability to continue to serve women for the next 25 years of impact. So those are all really exciting milestones. But within that, we will have a 25th anniversary celebration this fall. Typically, we have a luncheon. It will look a little bit different this year. And so we're really excited to share those details with the community soon. We are also expanding programs and services to our community. And so, again, we have a strong foundation of workforce development programmings. We've provided job readiness and acquisition programs, job retention support and networks for women who have stepped into new roles to make sure they have the resources and support to succeed and hopefully advance in those areas. We've had financial education, one-on-one career coaching. We launched an entrepreneurship program last year. And we're best known for a professional clothing program, providing high-quality, no-cost clothes to clients. But in 2025, we are expanding some of those programs and services as well. And so actually, in the month of March, we are launching a partnership with Corning, who are providing a 40-hour, one-week fiber optics training certification program for women in our community. When people have that certification, they have access to living wage jobs that pay, that living wage rate, but also have benefits and overtime compensation. And so really opening doors to economic stability for our clients. And we've also expanded partnerships for justice-involved women with the North Piedmont CRV and Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Department. So we're really excited about the ways we're expanding and growing support for women here in our community.
Wow, I love hearing that. One of the things that I think some people might be interested with, you said you've helped over 13,000 women in our community. How do women find you?
That's a great question. We have partnerships with over 80 referral agency partners. So those are nonprofit organizations, churches, community groups, social services departments, organizations that support people in our community. And through those partnerships, when any of our referral partners are meeting with a woman and she expresses need or interest for career support, they refer those women to us. And so then we're able to provide the wraparound, the job readiness services and supports that we offer. And then similarly, when a client comes through our doors and is participating in one of our programs, if she shares, that she's having some mental health struggles or that she's experiencing housing insecurity, we are able to reach out to our referral agency partners and say, we've been supporting this woman. We know that she needs help and resources. This is what you do. Can you lean in to support her? So it's a symbiotic relationship in making sure that women from all backgrounds and experiences are supported.
Nice. Have you found, since you've been on board for the last 14 months, have you seen any trends that are going up in areas of need for women in our community?
Absolutely. So I shared that we are launching some new job training and hiring programs. And part of that is because we have heard from women that, they need support in job readiness and figuring out how to assess their skills, their backgrounds, the work they've been doing to find something more stable. But it is exceptionally hard to get your foot in the door sometimes. So creating those pathways to jobs and helping remove some of those barriers is certainly a trend and a need. We are also seeing higher demand for bilingual programs and service delivery. And so we are working with some of our referral agency partners who, primarily operate in Spanish speaking or other language speaking environments to support clients who are coming with those needs. But we're also looking at how we can tap volunteers who bring some of those language skills that maybe our staff don't have so that we can offer consistent support. Another area that we're seeing high demand or trends in are a lot of our clients are trying to figure out how to use AI, both for their job search and job readiness needs, as well as in the workplace. So when a woman has stepped through the door into a new role, understanding how to leverage AI in both an appropriate way, but also a way that can add value and time to her day. And so, everything from program functions to clients that we're serving, we're certainly seeing. I will say that we had a 30% increase last year in our professional styling program, so providing women with clothing, and then our one-on-one career coaching services. And so that really tailored support for a woman to be able to submit her resume and goals and say, here's what I'm looking to achieve, and then working with one of our volunteer partners to spend an hour with her and sit down and help her get closer to achieving those goals has been an increased demand.
One of the things that I just loved when I first initially learned about Dress for Success years ago was any woman that comes through your front door, she's going to get a full week's worth of clothing, accessories, shoes, handbags. And what that does to uplift a
Yes.
woman and the confidence that it gives her when she's going into the workplace is so powerful. And I just love that you're able to give that opportunity for an entire week's worth of clothing.
Yes, and you nailed it. We, for the interview, will provide women with 2 full interview outfits, and you're exactly right. Clothes, shoes, handbags, jewelry, supportive undergarments that are new with tags, anything that she needs to be able to feel and express the confidence on the outside that she has on the inside. And then when she goes into a new position, she can come back for 5 additional full outfits for her workplace. And so really that's 7 days worth. And we try and make it so that you can, mix and match and have it really stretched to more than those 7 outfits. But what you really hit on is that it's about so much more than the clothing. Yes, the clothing is an essential tool, but really it's about helping a woman feel seen and respected and valued and providing her with a really tailored, individualized support. You've been into our space, you know what that feels like and looks like, but we refer to our office as a boutique because women, the clients who we serve come through our doors. They are matched one-on-one with a style consultant who sits down with her and says, what colors do you like? What types of clothing do you like or dislike? Can I bring you some things that maybe you haven't tried on? And our style consultants actually go into our warehouse and pull inventory, pull clothing for her to help meet her needs. And so it feels like a really high-end, very individual experience. Clients aren't, looking through racks of clothes that they feel like they're consigning or getting secondhand. And so I think we're really able to put dignity at the center of that experience, which then the result is that clients leave feeling confident, feeling seen, feeling like this is a safe place to come back to and engage with other programs and services, which is really our goal. We want that to be the start of a meaningful relationship to support her on her career journey.
I love that. Let me ask you this. So women come in, they are equipped with so many resources to help them. They've gone out on the interview. They have hopefully gotten that job that they have been searching for and wanting. What do you find is a challenge, or how do you help them in being able to get to work then? Now they've got the job. How do they get there?
That's a great question. Transportation is a significant challenge for many of our clients. And so, especially in the relationships that we are building with employers who are hiring, that's part of the conversation is this 5 days a week in person? Is it traditional hours? Is it hybrid? If a woman has transportation issues, can she work remotely, or is there an expectation if you're not here in person, does that jeopardize your role? And so we're trying to educate the community and help women meet those needs. In some instances, we've been able to help women problem solve and identify alternate options and support systems. We do not currently have a structure to be able to provide bus passes or, ride share credits or anything. Would of course love those partnerships, but for now it's really trying to educate our community on how much of a barrier transportation can be and help our women understand the options and resources that they have.
For all of the women that are listening to this podcast right now, what would be a need or a want that we could really put the call to action out for people to help right now?
Sure. Well, with nonprofits that we rely on our community in every facet of every program and service that we offer. So, if I had to identify our top 3 needs, the first would be we are looking to build hiring pathways for the women that we serve. They come from a diverse background of education, job experience, life experience, and 8% of our clients are veterans. And so women who are walking through our doors come from every background and life experience. And so understanding women, uplift other women, we'd love to have conversations about job opportunities within the companies that our community work in and seeing if we can be a partner in hiring pathways to that organization. The second need is from the program we're best known for, our professional clothing and styling program. We are always looking for handbags and shoes. Those are notoriously short supply for us. And so if you have, some bags sitting in the back of your closet collecting dust, shoes that are gently worn but still have a lot of life to give, we would love to accept those donations, and of course, clothing as well. But then the third need is financial support. To continue to expand our services to women and to be able to invest in this community, we have to have staff capacity and the resources to do so. For example, I talked about the partnerships that we're building with Spanish-speaking organizations and with justice-involved women. We've been invited to facilitate a month-long program in one of those facilities. We don't have staff capacity right now to be able to do that. And so for us to continue to meet the needs of the community, financial support helps us to be able to expand services and have an even wider impact on women in the Charlotte region.
I love that you were able to share so many different ways, because everyone's got their niche or their thing or their call to action that they can do themselves. Emily, I've just loved getting to know you this past year. I've loved the energy that you bring to Dress for Success and the true compassion that I think that you bring to the organization. But one of the things I love to do with our podcast is hear the fun side of people as well. So I want to hear, and this is not scripted. I purposely did not want to know this before we started, but tell me the fun side of Emily. Tell me things that nobody knows in our Hood Hargett Breakfast Club family.
Sure. Well, I think I would describe this as the chaotic side of Emily, is that I also have 2 young children. And so I have a son who's 6 and a daughter who's 3, and they keep me busy and laughing and pulling my hair and also remembering why I wake up and do this every day to make this community stronger, more compassionate, and hopefully more equitable for my daughter and, their friends. But I think a fun piece of me is maybe not fun, nerdy, who knows? Describe it as you wish. I got into gardening 2 years ago for no reason other than I needed a place to channel my energy that was not work related, and have gone all in. I am now type A gardener. I research everything I'm going to plant before I plant it. I actually have 2 gardens now, not just one. They're big. And I map them out on spreadsheets. I have a planting calendar, a harvest calendar. I have my chores organized with what I need to do to maintain those. I have a big old gardening hat that I probably look ridiculous in, and I don't even care. It is like such free therapy for me. And so it's a great way to channel my energy. But I also love with my kids, they come out to my garden. They'll pick, I shouldn't say my garden, our garden. They pick green beans right off the pole, and my daughter will eat cherry tomatoes until she can't eat anymore. And it gets them really involved in doing something outside and learning about vegetables, but I love it.
Okay, I love that for so many reasons. I am not a gardener. That my husband loves to do that kind of stuff, but it has not ever been in my wheelhouse. And of course, a type A person is going to have this all charted out, and you're going to have multiple gardens, and you're going to have a whole schedule of how everything works with it.
the funny thing is, I'm not an indoor plant person. Like, to me, I
Oh,
would
me
assume
neither.
that if you have a garden, you have a lot of indoor plants. I've gotten a couple from folks over the years, but
I kill plants.
like my interest in outdoor gardening is not the same. It hasn't translated yet to indoor greenery. So maybe at some point it will. But right now it's like, if I can keep the things outside alive, I feel really good about
You're
it.
good, right? Just keep the fake stuff inside. That's
Yep,
perfect.
yep.
Emily, thank you.
Yes.
This has been a real joy to have you on. And hopefully we will have some women that hear this for the first time, hear about
Yes.
Dress for Success for the first time, and learn a little bit more about what you're doing to help so many people in Charlotte. So thank you for your work.
Yes. And it is Your Hour, Her Power in the month of March. And I will put a plug in that the first and last day of the month, we always feature a client ambassador. So a woman who has utilized our programs and services and is sharing her story of impact. And so if folks are listening and are interested, please go to our website and consider making a donation on behalf of one of our client ambassadors.
Fantastic. It was a treat to have you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.